there's power within a network. I believe that for sure. And figuring out a network of people who you're around that will support you and kind of coach you on better offers, better terminology within contracts, things like that. I think Keller Williams does a great job at that.
Hi, this is David Kaler with Keller Williams Realty Black Hills, and we're back with Scott Henrikson, highlighting his career and kind of what he's done and how long he's been with us. Kind of an interesting interview. All of them have been, but this one I've been really interested to get into because I remember meeting you at Jerry's Donuts on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And Scott had shared with me a little bit of where he wanted to go and what he did. And he was a recruit out of Target, and he was in leadership management in Target. And so he had a lot of dreams and ambitions. And what's amazing is in the last few years, I watched him not only hit those, but really go way beyond what I thought not anybody's capable of, but what he would do. So talk to me when this kind of started to spur in Target, what brought you to say, I want to get in real estate?
Yeah, to be honest, like it's like a kind of a terribly generic story. Like I watched it on TV. Like I watched the HGTV shows. I'm like, oh, I can do this. Like I see how they can do this. So I was just very curious and interested in that. So I started paying attention, trying to learn the market just while I'm doing my full-time job because I didn't know much about being a real estate agent. And then kind of started buying some rentals with other agents and still learning. And then finally, fast forward to kind of today or 4 years ago when I started, I jumped in because it was right for my family at that point. Like that was the big transition is we wanted to make sure that I could, have a little bit more flexibility with the schedule and jump in. And I loved it. I loved what I was doing. For the previous 2 years while I was full-time employed, I was actually making more with my real estate career, not even really being in real estate than I was with my profession. So it was a natural turn to say, hey, let's get into this world of real estate.
So of all the firms that are out there, why Keller Williams, and how is that fit your goals and ambitions for what you've wanted to try to accomplish?
Yeah. So I interviewed with other firms too. I was a firm believer of like what's out there. So I went to a couple different firms and had conversations. Keller Williams, what I liked about Keller Williams is I came from a corporate environment that was organized, had a good structure. And I felt that with Keller Williams. I felt like Keller Williams had support systems in place. They were a business, not just they're a business. And I wanted that. I knew that was something that I wanted to be a part of. And then I liked the performance of what I saw. I saw people performing out of Keller Williams, and I knew that if I wanted to grow, I needed to learn that, and part of that learning was going to be to mimic and be a part of an environment where I could see people that were performing and then make it my own. I wasn't going to just copy them directly, but I was going to see theirs, dissect how they did things, and then kind of do it on my own level. So that was a huge part of Keller Williams.
With Scott, the interesting thing that I think is 4 years in the business, and I've got 46.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is the concept of iron sharpens iron. And Scott stretched my mindset at my age. That's what I love about what we have is to sit back and watch you and go, one, I wish that I was 30 years old again.
Sure.
Two, I am only 64. Yeah. And gee, I wonder how I can take some of the tools that you've used and enhance my portfolio and my business the way you've done it. And that to me is so refreshing. That's what I love about the mindset, not necessarily the age group, but the mindset of people around here, because there's a number of you running around here that we can bounce ideas off.
Yeah.
And so as you've then gotten into the KW culture, how is the KW culture now that you're into it 4 years? enhanced your business?
So I think, and you'll probably appreciate this more than some, the market's been really good for pretty much the whole time I've been in it. Probably a lot easier to sell houses than it has been in the past during that time. With KW, what I kind of like, there's power within a network. I believe that for sure. And figuring out a network of people who you're around that will support you and kind of coach you on better offers, better terminology within contracts, things like that. I think Keller Williams does a great job at that. I think the people around are performing at a high level. And so because of that, just being there, that network of those people will make you better. And then there's the community of you. Just if you work with people consistently, and it happens at other firms too, and you work with someone in another area, you could still get a good reputation. But I think it's almost like a little bit of a family event. And I'm not necessarily the family business kind of a person, but I do think that Keller Williams has done a great job of supporting me with like that network and allowing me to just learn off of other people's and create my own business off of that.
So, but I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
And meeting with us, and hopefully we get to do one of these again in another 2 years.
Sounds good.
Great.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.